SG Reads.
Hello fellow travelers, my name is SG and welcome to the channel. Today we'll be going over another analog horror series, but this one's a little different. It's based on the Dragon Ball Z series, an anime that I like and most people actually like. And I found this and thought it was very interesting. It's by Sackboy. Please go check out the original series on his channel. And yeah, we'll continue on from there. Let's get started. If you like this content, please leave a like, comment, subscribe down below. It really helped me out. And let's move on, shall we? Alright, the first video we have in this series is called Not Strong Enough, which is much more of your traditional analog style when doing animes like this, or even just animated series like this, where they just do a horrified version of Goku and Frieza in this storyline for the most part, with a little bit of a creepy voice in the background, adding up to the scare factor of it all. But we get to the real story in the next video called My Friend Keith. And then we have there that somebody is recording evidence of a friend of theirs that have gone missing, named Keith Akarat, and saying that they saw him again, but he was different, more aggressive, more physical than he was before, and he looked different with a yellow gold glow to him, and that he had become super strong and was able with all kinds of different abilities. And from there we go to the third video, which is the instructional prison video, where we are introduced to this new organization that shall remain nameless for right now, mainly because I cannot read the name that on their logo that looks like a Dragon Ball, and that they kind of blur it out for the time being. So for right now, it just talks about what is expected to as your life now that you are imprisoned in these facilities, and saying that you should not fight because they seem to be more aggressive than usual, or you will be blasted by Goku. So that would be a big negative. Next, we go to experiments, where we do meet another friend, or maybe even the same one from Keith Akarat, where he is showing that he has gone through exponential experimentation, and that we do get the idea that this pharmaceutical company may have injected him with something that came off of a meteorite, giving him these superhuman abilities, and that he is not the only one that has been going through these transformations. We do have another person who supposedly looks like Vageta from the main series, has also gone under these experiments as well. Then we go to the video My Love.mp4, which suggests that Kevin Akarat, or Keith Akarat, has some memories from his past life as a regular human, where he goes back and sees his wife, but she is horrified to find out what he's become. And in that process, whoever is doing these to these people is also transforming her into a superhuman being as well. Now, Keith himself has been going under the codename Goku, or GOKU, which stands for Grave Offender Killing Unit. So that in itself is an anagram, which is pretty fun for the main series. And we see that Chi-Chi herself has become one of these creatures at the very end of the video itself. Next time we get Giant Among Men, which insists that there is a creature that's going around terrorizing buildings, and he is at least 4 times the bigger size than Goku and Vegeta have been, with a glowing green aura, and he seems to have some sort of intelligence to himself too, which is very different from what we've seen with Broly in the future. But for now, we're sticking with the idea that it's Broly who's terrorizing the people. Next, we see First Encounters. There we get one perspective from an actual person who has known both Keith Akarat and this world's Vegeta, who is, in this world, is called Vincent Vegeta. Obviously supposed to be Vegeta for the most part, but in this world he has this mindset that he is a prince of a Saiyan race, or prince of this alien race from some far off planet. And then we do get this idea that he knows them both from a long time ago, and he knows that the place to start is probably with Vincent's wife, who is of course in this universe Bulma, who owns Capsule Corp, and in this universe it's a pharmaceutical company along the way. From there we can get this part 2 of this very video with Captured, and Captured shows off this idea that he has broken into Capsule Corp, and it is a wreck. It is a ruin at this point now, but the only person remaining is Bulma, who knocks him out and traps him underground, along with several other people, one that he's known as the short balder man, who is being forced to have the 3 tattooed dots on his head. Again, going back to the Krillin from the original anime. But there we meet a strange person in black who seems to be a professor in this universe. And that could be a few people. it could be a mix of briefs, Professor Briefs, or something like that. But for now, we're just continuing with the story. For our unlikely protagonist in this couple of videos, we do know that he had gone missing shortly after that, and is yet to be seen. We can't speculate who he is, but we'll get to that in a minute as well. Our next video is the Frost Demon. A group of scientists go out to just look into a falling meteor, or what they turn out to be a spaceship. They do say that it's the exact same type of spaceship that was found when they found the Saiyan DNA and managed to replicate it. But this spaceship had a creature in it, a creature that is tall in length, but he seems to be more aggressive, more violent, has a tail, and obviously it's supposed to be Frieza, but a more monstrous mutated version of Frieza. And from then we get to theft, where we see just common offenders who shoplift or do whatever are being captured and or being executed by these Saiyan races, aka Goku, Chi-Chi, Vegeta, Krillin, and now Broly joining into these ranks. Alright, that's for the most part where we are currently in the story. We're really going to dig into it now, what this all means, and what could happen in the future. Let's get started, shall we? Also, please support the original creator. I'll leave links to the original videos and, of course, to the original first video down below, in both the description and in the comment section. Now, as I said before with all my videos, the first thing I want to talk about is the narrator. Now, for this series, it seems that we have multiple ones. Some are friends of the original people of these characters, like Keith Akarat or Vincent, but it's different every time. They're not the same people. Like, they're either a scientist or they're people who are just running on the streets or thieves or whatever. But there is a main person gathering this information, gathering this material. And it's someone we didn't quite expect because she seems to be the one kind of controlling the situation. And that would have to be Bulma. Throughout the series, we get this idea that there's darker, redder words being put through there, suggesting that there are people watching these videos and commenting on them. And for the most part, the one time we do have kind of this confirmation that it's not just pre-recorded or these people are just giving their own 2 cents, and that's Bulma, who specifically says when we show a picture of her that she doesn't want her image out there to the world. So the one I think is collecting this information and kind of putting it out is Bulma herself. Why do we see that? Because in one of the videos we do get this idea that in the thief section specifically, when they talk about catching them and eradicating thieves, she says they deserved it, didn't they? Insist, kind of hinting that she knows this is wrong and that she feels that this is wrong, but she can't really do anything about it at this very moment. Suggesting that maybe there is a piece of her that is still kind of in there. Because we know from the friend that was looking into Capsule Corp that she was different. She had gone a little crazy and had been probably testing on herself as well, because she dyed her hair blue and was acting erratic when she was a completely different person when he knew her before all this went down. Now, the characters we've seen so far consist of Goku, Chi-Chi, Krillin, and Broly, and Vegeta, and of course Bulma. But the ones that are narrating, the ones that we kind of suspect are going to be characters down the way, such as the one who has been in Capsule Corp, has been looking for their friends, Keith and Vincent. I do have a hint that maybe he'll turn out to be either Piccolo or kind of Nappa, because I say Nappa is a better choice for this, mainly because there is no evidence to support that it's Piccolo, other than the idea that he knew them both. And this could be just the idea of him relating to the Saiyans as a family member, knowing who they are, again showing that he's a member of the Saiyan race from before all this. But the biggest tip is that he said he's a friend of Vincent, and we all know that none of them really are friends with Vegeta until the very end of the series. So it would make more sense if it turned out he ended up being Nappa. As for the thief, who I think he is, I think it's going to end up being Yamcha, because that fits his original Dragon Ball storyline where he was kind of a desert thief, where he would steal stuff, do things like that. So when it comes to those two protagonists, I think it'll most likely end up being that the ones that we have seen through the eyes of are going to end up being Nappa and Yamcha at the end of the day. Alright, the story so far is that a UFO, or they claim it's a meteorite, but we know that it's a Saiyan pod, has landed on Earth, and they managed to find either cells of an alien or even just the alien itself in the pod, either deceased or just captured and injured. They brought back the samples to Capsule Corp, where Bulma, her father, and maybe various other scientists like Willow, we get maybe Jiro, all working together to formulate this formula to help build the strength of a human up. Using a human that was already kind of a martial artist in his own way, they managed to increase that with the formula, but in the process lost his mind. That would be Keith Akarat, or maybe even Vincent was the original few that accepted this task, or were willing to take the chance in becoming stronger. And hence why in the very first video we get this idea we need to be stronger, stronger, stronger. Kind of suggesting that that was the idea behind it. And when the scientists did this, they found that they were a bit uncontrollable and ended up implanting memories of them of being aliens, of being protectors in a way. And of course, as it went on, they started experimenting, moving forward with people that would be dangerous to the overall public, imprisoning them in these cells. We do get this idea that Jiro might have been one of those people that they imprisoned, thanks to the appearance of Cell in one of these cells, of course. But we don't know that now they're even attacking just petty crimes, locking them away, and even people that just want to find out the truth about what these Saiyans are and what's happening to the people they love and know. Hence, we see this with a couple of the narrators who have seen and witnessed their friends turning into monsters. With that, we can either say that Goku or Vegeta were the original first to accept these formulas, like I said before, kind of suggesting that maybe it was Vegeta first, since he is considering himself the prince of it all, the king of it all, and how he's a little weaker than Goku, suggesting that it was improved later on and given to Goku later on in an attempt to kind of be this more stronger version. We know that Broly was the extreme version, that was probably the third one in this lineup, mainly because they tried to upgrade it, increase it, the rate of which it infects him, turning him into this greener Saiyan that's more sadistic and yet at the same time a little more intelligent than the Broly we know. From then we do get them that all these petty criminals or even people trying to know the truth, that they have gathered them and put them underneath Capsule Corp in this cell-like chamber in an attempt to recreate a formula that will turn regular people just a bit stronger, only by a little bit. Hence why we get Krillin, we might be getting Yamcha, and of course we may know that Bulma might be one of those people that experimented on herself, along with Chi-Chi, mainly because they have lost their minds, but they're still not the equivalent of Goku or Vegeta in this sense, suggesting that when they took the formula, it was all kind of like a watered down version of it, just enough to make them stronger, more durable, and maybe give them a little bit of abilities, but nothing like we've seen with Goku or Vegeta. And why would they be doing all this? Well, we're about to talk that right now. Now the question is, why risk all this? Why, when the first one was obviously a success but not a great success, why would they continue on with this? Well, the one theory is that when they found this pod, this meteorite, whatever you like to call it, they had information that it came from a far off planet known as Vegeta, or a Saiyan race planet, or just an alien planet, period, maybe from the anime or something like that. And it had information that suggests that an alien creature was traveling the world, destroying different planets. And its next lineup was Earth. Maybe going to be there in another year or so, maybe 2. We don't know, but we do know that because of the Frost Demon, we do know that Frieza was on his way. Hence, as we've seen in the first video, it's Goku constantly talking about how he's not strong enough to deal with the version of Frieza we're seeing right now. It's the scientists constantly testing him, trying to see if he's stronger or not. And it seems that they are barely at that point where Frieza has finally landed on Earth, and now they're going to have to see how the super soldiers are handling in a certain way. Now, which leads us to our more speculation side of it all. which is that we are now going to be, in the next few videos, either getting more people to finish off the Z Fighters, which would have to be Piccolo, Krillin, we've seen Krillin obviously, but Tien, Chaozu, along those lines, and maybe even Master Roshi. But for the most part, I think that the main arc we're going for is that Vegeta, Goku are all going to be on this warpath towards Frieza. And Frieza is going to end up being this main big bad of the main story. For the most part, I think that that is pretty much where we're headed. And that's where episode 1 suggests that we are actually going to be. Where they are going to try to fight the Conqueror Alien. Or at least that's what he's claiming to be in this scenario. And once they beat him, I think we're going to find out several realizations at the end of this all. And that being that we will have a Gohan, probably at the end of the Frieza series, suggesting that he's the first one that was injected while either a baby, or maybe he was Heath Akarat's and Chi-Chi's original son, that was she was either pregnant with him, or that they had him after. So either way, I think that he is the one that's going to be sort of this mix of human and Saiyan. Like we see in the regular anime, that he's going to have his senses all together, while at the same time having the mentality or the physical strength and abilities of a Saiyan, suggesting that he may be the one to go against this whole Capsule Corp organization. And we will see maybe that they make Cell, because we do get a glimpse of Cell at the very third episode with the prison instruction video, suggesting that they are currently building him, making him to fight against the Saiyan army. And I would like to see the androids as well make an appearance as well. Maybe they are themselves captured in this, or maybe they're just the kind of unwitting suspects in all this. Maybe Jiro's the main scientist doing all this to them. But for now, we are left with speculation. And I like to think that that's how the story will evolve. We'll see more of that. Once they beat Frieza, they're going to be hungry for more fighting, to figure their own strength out. That's their main mode and what they want to do. Become more conqueror than anything else. Maybe go conquer a neighboring planet named Namek. We don't know. But there is room to speculate that that's how the story is going to evolve as we go into the main story. And for the most part, it's pretty good. I enjoy it, and I can't wait to see what happens next. I do love this take of the Dragon Ball series, because there's so many ways you could have taken this. Taken the original storyline, maybe done an analog just on Cell, Frieza, or even GT if you wanted to. But I think that taking this horror take on it, mixing different elements to build its own universe in a way, while at the same time being true to the characters and what they are, is still something that I think is very hard to do, but very fun in practice. So I can't wait to see what happens next. I'll be staying tuned. I'm subscribed. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please go check out the original series. I'll leave it down in the comment section and description. Please support the original creator. Thanks again for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate it. Help me out. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day. See ya.